after you set up your company file using the Easy Step interview, you have the opportunity to enter some company information such as contacts and items. You don't have to use Quick Setup, and other videos show you how to enter customers, vendors, and items and go into much more detail. But Quick Setup is just a quick way to get up and running so you can start using QuickBooks in your day-to-day business. However, the information you enter during Quick Setup will be incomplete, and at a later date, you'll have to come back to the vendor, customer, and item records to fill in the gaps. But let me go ahead and show you how it works. I'll start by adding contacts, so I'll click Add. As you can see, you can import your contacts, or you can paste from Excel or enter them manually. If you choose one of the import options, you'll need to be online. QuickBooks takes you to the appropriate sign-in page to import your contacts. For this video, I'll show you how to paste from a spreadsheet. So I'll click Paste from Excel and click Continue. So open the spreadsheet where you currently store your contacts. So I'll go ahead and open the spreadsheet where I currently store my contacts. You can paste one column at a time, or you can arrange the columns in the spreadsheet to match the columns in the QuickBooks table. And I already went ahead and did that, so I can select all the cells in the spreadsheet and click Copy and go back to QuickBooks and click in the first line and click Paste. So that was easy. Next thing is to choose the type of contact, customer, vendor, or employee. And this is customer, customer, vendor, vendor. Looks good to me. I'm going to click Continue. If QuickBooks found any duplicates, you could click Fix to fix them. But I look pretty good here, so I do want to point out one thing. You could enter opening balances for your customers and vendors here. However, many accountants recommend that you not enter the opening balances for customers and vendors here, and instead create the outstanding invoices and bills in QuickBooks later. And the video on entering historical transactions explains how to do that. So I'm going to cancel this and click Continue. You can also add your services and products, and QuickBooks refers to these as items. So let's go ahead and click Add. Adding the items here will just get you started. There is a lot more you can enter about items, and there are a lot more item types than this screen shows. Later videos go into all the item types and how to enter them. So first I'll enter a service item. It's already selected, so I'll click Continue. First you type the name of the service item. And this is a framing and art store, so I'll type framing. And press Tab. And the description field is what appears on the customer invoice or sales receipt. So I want a little bit more detail. Type framing artwork. In the price field, I'll type the hourly rate, which is $25. You could continue adding service items, but I'll just do one. So I'll click Continue, and nothing to be fixed, so I'll click Continue. Now let me add an inventory item. So I'll click Add More. And I just want to point out that if you told QuickBooks when you set up your company file that you don't track inventory, you won't see inventory part listed here. But let me go ahead and show you how that works. And I'll click Continue. And this is a pretty efficient way to enter inventory because you can enter the quantity on hand on the start date of your company file. So the first thing was frames. And description, italic, blue, 12 by 12. And then the price. This is the price I sell it for, so $19.95. And the cost is the cost to me, which is $11. And currently on hand, I have 12. So enter the on-hand quantity, and QuickBooks calculates the total value and choose the date, which in this case would be the start date of the company file. So you could continue adding inventory items this way, but I will just enter one and click Continue. And continue again. You can also quickly add your bank accounts. So let's go ahead and click Add, and type the account name. Friendly Bank Checking. And if you know the account number, you can type it here, or you could type it later. And I will type it later. But I do know the opening balance. You can find the opening balance by looking at your last statement you received for the bank account. So here you would enter the ending balance as shown on that statement. This would be the last reconciled balance and becomes your opening balance. And then the opening balance date would be the statement end date, which in this case was December 31st. So I'll just do one for now, but you could add your savings account and other accounts. And click Continue. And QuickBooks is asking you if you want to order checks. And you can order them now, or click No Thanks if you don't want to order checks. Or click Yes and have QuickBooks remind you. And that's what I'll keep, and click Continue. And here, QuickBooks is asking you when you want to be reminded. So you have several choices here, and I think 1 week is great. So I'll click OK. So what's next? Eventually, you'll need to enter what QuickBooks calls historical transactions, which are any transactions made between the start date of your company file and today. To keep this video from becoming longer than the Titanic, I'll cover that in another lesson.